Have you ever tried to create something new while still healing? Like building a YouTube channel or starting some maybe online business? It's quite messy, a bit uncertain and incredibly vulnerable, but at the same time it feels very empowering. So today I was reflecting actually how difficult it is to grow and build YouTube channel while navigating grief and personal growth. Because on the one hand, I know that I want to share my story to help others get unstuck, to show that change is possible, to inspire courage. But on the other hand, sometimes I want to stay in hiding while I'm healing. And also I catch myself comparing. I watch a lot of other YouTube channels because I want to learn how to do YouTube. And those successful YouTubers, they are giving me very valuable advice on growth, content creation and algorithms. And while I appreciate their wisdom and as I mentioned, I learn a lot, sometimes it also feels disencouraging watching them so successful already while I'm still learning and healing. But also because I feel that I'm not like them, I don't want to follow some trends and record videos because they are clickbait or popular. I'm actually here to find my voice, because healing is about that, finding your voice, reclaiming yourself, reclaiming your true self, and just finding those parts of you that you've silenced for too long. So this year I made one of the most difficult decisions in my life. I left a 5-year relationship where I felt deeply unfulfilled and unhappy. For years I convinced myself that things were fine, but eventually I didn't want to settle for fine. And I was telling myself for a very long time that I should be grateful, that maybe my expectations were too high. And honestly, I think part of me were just afraid to be alone and start over at my age. So I stayed and I tried to make things work. I tried to improve things and I started from myself. But eventually I realized that settling into the comfort of what was familiar wasn't really for me, because deep down I felt disconnected, unseen, and that made me unhappy. I didn't like the fact that I was slowly shrinking into a version of myself that I didn't recognize anymore. And then something changed. There was this, let's call it a breakthrough, or this moment where you think, I can't live like that anymore. Last year I lost my dad, and honestly, watching someone you love fade away is a kind of pain that I can't put into words. And I think that I've never experienced grief before, and I know now that grief has a way of shaking you awake. And it made me realize that life is just too short to spend it in places where you just don't belong. Too short to ignore your heart, and too short to stay in relationships or jobs or situations that just drain you just because they feel safe. And yeah, it didn't really work for me. So that's why I made this decision and I walked away. And suddenly I found myself in a new reality. I came back to my home country, and while I was navigating still the grief, but also heartbreak from this breakup and healing all at once. And this time I decided to have no distractions, no numbing with alcohol, cigarettes, partying. it is just me sitting with every feeling and every emotion. And you know, some days I feel strong, some days I feel that I can do it, I feel happy, I'm dancing and really feel that I'm on the right path. But sometimes it feels like in limbo, you know, when I know that I don't want to go back and I'm sticking with my decision, I have no regrets, but at the same time I don't see the light yet ahead. I don't see where exactly it is going and I feel a bit impatient. But nevertheless, I keep walking and I keep appreciating every single small step I take. Because, you know, the only way out is through. I've always known that I want to share my story. I used to write a blog and it just comes so natural to me just to put all my thoughts and feelings on a paper. And I don't do it because I have everything figured out. I want to share my story because I know what it's like to be stuck. I know what it's like to doubt yourself, and I also know that sometimes hearing someone else's story can remind you that you are just not alone. So that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, not to teach, but to share, to reflect, to document what it really looks like to rebuild your life after walking away from something that no longer serves you. So on my YouTube channel, as you know, I'm a beginner and I started it maybe a month ago, and I've recorded so far three YouTube videos at the time of recording this one, and each of this video is in a different format because I'm still figuring out what feels right for me. And in the first video I read my article looking at the camera, and that felt comfortable because I could read everything I wrote, but it felt a little bit stiff, so I'm not sure I like this format that much. And then the other one I did, it was just faceless video with my voice over some visuals. It was better, but at the same time I felt there is no personal connection. Besides, I felt that I don't necessarily want to be a videographer, YouTuber. I actually want to be a person that shows up and talks to the camera. And my third video was a simple script where I was trying to share my message in my own words. It felt a little bit closer to what I'm trying to achieve here, but it still felt a little bit uncomfortable and still needs some work in there. Especially that as an introvert, talking to the camera doesn't come too naturally to me. But maybe that's okay, you know, maybe my strength is in being not perfect, not everything has to be polished. Maybe I can be just raw, vulnerable and focus on the reflection. After all, maybe we are done with all these polished videos. Maybe we just need a human being behind a camera. So that's why today I'm trying to something new. I'm still checking my notes, so I will not lose the track of what I'm trying to say. But it is like a mixture of three of those styles that I try so far, and I already feel that this is more something that I enjoy doing. It feels more natural, and it feels that my personality can come across more natural than reading a script or recording videos and reading my articles word by word. So at the end, I want to say that I left behind what wasn't making me happy to finally choose myself. And here I want to create content that truly can resonate with you. And I feel that I can only achieve this goal of connecting with you by just being myself. So if this video found you today, maybe that's a sign, and I might assume that you are on a similar journey of healing and stepping into something new. And if that's you, I want to tell you that you are not alone. And finding yourself and healing can be difficult. You know, it's not easy. But I just want to encourage you to keep walking, keep creating, keep sharing your story, because your voice do matter, your story matters, and you will be amazed how other people can resonate with your story. Plus, you know, your story is what makes you unique, especially in this age of AI. It is our story that will always make us different from robots. And you know, I think that the light is coming for both of us. So let's keep going, let's keep creating, and let's keep showing up and sharing our vulnerable and raw journey on healing and personal growth. And if you found the courage to walk away from things that don't serve you, I salute you, and let's connect. Thank you for watching.